Hi Vinyl community, it's Mike here, and today's video is rather special because I'm going to review an album. And it's an album that was released last Friday, 10th of October 2025, by a member of the vinyl community. So let's have a look. So the album itself is by a band called Of Gods and Men, and I really like the artwork on this cover. It's really, really nice, and as you can see, it's called The Stare, and it's got 9 tracks on the album, and the vinyl itself, there it goes. It's on clear vinyl, and there's a bespoke label there, and then the inner, if I can find it. Here's the inner, and it's got all the lyrics on and various sort of details of the recording and the band. So who are Of Gods and Men? Well, the guitarist and lead vocalist is Mike Grogan. Then on keyboards and backing vocals, you've got Pete Blackler. And then on bass and backing vocals, you've got Vern Gretsch. And then on drums and percussion, a guy called Chris Arrowsmith. And all the songs on this album are written by Mike Grogan, and the album is produced by Mike as well. And it was recorded live with overdubs at Key West Studios in Gosport, Hampshire, in June and July 2025. So, who's a vinyl community member? Well, Mike Grogan, you'll know him better in the vinyl community as PC31, the vinyl policeman. Now, Mike's no stranger to the recording studio. He's already released a couple of albums a few years ago in his own name, and they're very much sort of solo singer-songwriter albums. This is very, very different, and what I'll do is I'll go through it track by track, and I'll tell you what I think. So there we go. So show you the album cover again, Of Gods and Men and The Stare. So track number 1 is called Flawed, and the guitar intros reminds me of a sort of a rock version of T-Rex's Get It On. It's a really fantastic track. I really like the guitar work on this, Mike, and it's a really stonking sort of opening track, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Track two, and that's called, as you can see, called The Yellow Door. And I'm not entirely sure what this track is all about, Mike. I can be a bit slow on the uptake sometimes, I think. But it's certainly a song about overcoming sort of your fears and walking with your head up. And it's a really nice track. I like this. It's a bit sort of post-punky, and it's a lovely track. Track 3, track 3 on side 1, Vindicate Me. Well, it's quite political, and I'd say political with a small p. It's not party political. It's about being asked to go and fight for your government. He makes a point, you're being asked by the government to fight rather than saying fighting for your country. So, he asks the question, who's gonna wear the green and blue? And it's again, it's quite a sort of a rocky sort of post-punky sound, and I really, really love this. I mean, I've listened to this album about 6 times now, and I'll be listening to it again. It's really, it's really good stuff. Right, track 4, Witness. Probably the punkiest sounding track on the whole album, and for that reason, I really love it, Mike. It's got a little bit of the spirit of 77 in there, and it's great. And Mike's lyrics sort of throughout the album are pretty good, quite sort of inventive in parts, and there's a sort of couplet here, and it says, in the corridors of power, they're shaking like a dog in the rain. There you go. And as I say, quite political with a small p, but really, really nice track. And then we've got the final track on side 1, which is called World of Pain. And it's not as bleak as the title would suggest, nowhere near. You know, I like this track, and it's a really, really nice way to round off side one of the album. So, you know, side one, listened to it, thought, yeah, this is going to be great. So, what side two got to offer? Well, let's have a look. So, the the second side, there's just 4 tracks on side two, and it opens up with a track called Hollow. And again, it's post-punkish, quite sort of, you know, quite a rock song, really. Really, really love this. It's really, really nice. So yeah, that's the that's the first track on side two. Um, Track 7 on the album, track 2 on side two. It's called Gone This Day, and this is a song. It's about sort of, you know, having your moment overshadowed by bigger news stories, and how in a different world, you know, things might have been quite different. I really, really like this track, Mike. I think it's absolutely lovely. Then we get to track 8, and track 8 is again a lovely song. It's called Rebel Dance, and I really hear a bit of Springsteen in this, Mike. It really, you know, you really get that sort of idea. Um, it's a nice rock track, and I love the lyrics. And there's a lyric in there. It says, uh, "Up in heaven, everyone is here, gathered around the fire and drinking beer." That's the kind of heaven that I would like to go to, Mike. It's really nice, and it reminds me of a track that Mogwai did, and Mogwai covered a hymn, and it was the last track on their soundtrack for the French horror TV series Les Revenants, and it's called "What Are They Doing in Heaven Today?" And when I heard this, it just reminded me of it. It doesn't sound like it, but it just immediately brought that to mind. So yeah, I went away and I listened to the Mogwai album after I'd listened to your album, Mike. So yeah, that was really, really good. And then we come to the final track, track 9 on the album, and definitely my favourite track on side two. Um, it's a little less sort of rocky than the rest of the album. I mean, it's almost a slice of contemporary folk, and it's really nice, and it's sort of you know, as I say, a little bit more downbeat than the rest of the album, and it's, you know, or down tempo, I should say, and it's really, really nice, and I really love this. So, you know, overall, this is a fantastic album, absolutely fantastic. And um, Mike included a sort of note in with the album, and he says, so far the album's been likened to post-punk, grunge, bit gothy. So I'd be interested to know what genre you would put it in. Well, yeah, I mean all of those. You know, it's very difficult to categorise most music into just one genre, isn't it? So yeah, it's a sort of rocky end of post punk if I really had to, and I can I can hear some of your own musical influences in here, Mike. You know, I mean, I've mentioned Springsteen already. There's definitely some Springsteen in there. There's definitely a bit of the Clash in this album, and there's a bit of Comsat Angels, and also more than a hint of Spear of Destiny, I think. So yeah, as I say, I would put it at the sort of the rock end rather than the art rock end of post punk. But you know, however it's categorized, it's a fantastic album. So Mike did a preview video a few days ago, and included some promo clips of the band performing, and he also put in a link to their Bandcamp site where you can go and buy the album. So I'll leave that a link to that video and a link to Mike's channel in the description, and you can go over there and have a listen, and maybe go out and buy a copy of the album yourself. I would highly recommend it. So that's it. A different video from what I normally do, but I felt I really had to do this, Mike, and thank you very much for releasing this album. So until next time, everybody, see ya. Bye-bye. Bye.